before Labor Day. Now, I was not home to see all of Raw. I was actually visiting my cousin. So when I got home, it was almost about 9 o'clock. So I did get a chance to see The Miz versus Jeff Hardy. Look, ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest here. Wouldn't it have been better that they saved this for No Mercy? Why did they have to rush this? I really felt like last week I was happy to see this was going to happen. But then when I saw this, I thought, why did I think I want this week? Why? And then seeing that there was no controversy to keep Jeff Hardy from getting the title, The Miz retained the title, it would have been better that something happened, or better nothing had happened, and they built up into No Mercy. Look, if you look at the timeline between The Miz and Jeff Hardy, never really interacted with each other. Around 2009 was around the time Jeff Hardy left the company. And The Miz around that time actually began to build up, and then by 2010 he really became The Miz that we know today. So neither one of them really interacted. The Miz was in ECW before he switched to Raw. And if I remember correctly, Jeff Hardy had switched to SmackDown, went for the World Heavyweight Championship before they merged back together again. So essentially they never really interacted. And I would have liked to see a nice talk between Jeff Hardy and The Miz. I would have liked to see fights happening because of the Miztourage and Jeff and Matt trying to get somewhere. And then we actually get the match at No Mercy. Now these guys put on a great match. The second best match of the night. I'm sorry, it was. Well, actually, for me, it's the best match of the night. But if I'm going to be objective, it was the second best match of the night. So, if that makes any sense. But it really felt like it didn't need to be that way. It should have been saved for No Mercy. Now, if Jeff is going to be still involved with The Miz, they're going to have to do some stupidness like maybe now Matt wins a chance to go up against The Miz. But then it's kind of stupid because Matt is not doing the broken gimmick and he really needs to use it. That's just me. Enzo had a 6-man tag he was involved with. Enzo was talking his ass off before the match and it felt stale. And then Enzo was the one who won the match. And now tomorrow, there's going to be a fatal 5-way. Whoever wins that goes after Neville. Now the way it's slated, if this is the way it looks, Enzo is going to be the one who's going to win that match. Now am I happy about that? I would rather they stretch it out. Wait a couple of months before they let Enzo actually go after a title. I could be wrong and Enzo will not win a title on 205. Well, not win the Fatal 5-Way at 205 Live. And then go to No Mercy and may win the title there. Let's be honest though. Would it be better for Enzo to be the champ than Neville? Honestly, no. Look, I say this truthfully. Enzo's one of the best talkers they have in the company. And to be honest, as a talker, he needs to be a manager. It doesn't make a difference if he wants to be a wrestler or he wants to get more money because he's a wrestler wrestling. He is a talker more than he is a wrestler. And I'd rather see Enzo talking like a Bobby the Brain Heenan, like the Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart, like a Sensational Sherry. And like to say with Sensational Sherry, I had the biggest crush on her. It wasn't the fact that woman looked like she had the biggest breasts you could ever see because she was wearing the most tightest push-up bra that was pushing maybe some C-cup breasts up to her neck. Honestly, Sensational Sherry to me, and I know there's a lot of people who love Miss Elizabeth, I was in love with Sensational Sherry was the most beautiful woman that they ever had. I loved the Fabulous Moolah because I loved her lineage, how far back she was, and she was beautiful. But as a woman that I had a crush on, that I would have married at the age of 14, 15 years old and spend the rest of my life with, that was Sherry. And I was just in love with her. But as well as she was the most gorgeous looking woman that was in the WWF at the time, she was a damn good manager. And that's what Enzo should be. Going back to Enzo, I know I went off on a tirade a little bit, but anyway, you get my point. Enzo should be a manager. Now, What do I think about the women's tag team? Stupid. I wished that the WWE took a page out of GFW and did the same thing. Even if people said bite off, bite off, bite off in the crowd, I would rather see them do a bite off and do it something better than what we got. We got a tag team match where if it angers me to even think it. And now what do we got? We got a fatal 4-way going into No Mercy. I still believe Nia Jax was the perfect choice to win that title at SummerSlam. She should have been the one to go up against Alexa Bliss, and she should have won it at a signature pay-per-view. She should have. She should have won it. It should be doing what it's doing, and it's just, it feels like a big waste. I just don't understand. I just don't. But it's just me. The final match. I'm going to skip to that because essentially I couldn't remember everything. I'm kind of tired. I was walking a lot. We got the Big Show versus Braun Strowman in the steel cage. Here's the thing. Was it a bad match? No. Braun Strowman was put over big by the Big Show. You can say a lot about the Big Show, that he sucks when he has to flip from one character to another, being a bad guy, being a good guy, being a bad guy, being a good guy. But you will say generally that he does put over other talent. More than most. Let's be honest. The Big Show has put over more talent than most people, and a lot of times he shouldn't have. He's similar to what I think the Slick Daddy talked about with Chris Jericho, where he's put over a lot of talent. He's been selfless. I'm not saying that the Big Show is at the Chris Jericho level of putting over a lot of talent, but he puts over more talent than most. And he put Braun Strowman over very well. Seeing him do an elbow drop from the top ring rope, we haven't seen that in years from the Big Show. That was, I gotta say, that's one of the things that made that match number one. If I'm seeing it objectively, I still think what happened with Jeff and The Miz was the best match of the night. But if I'm going to see it for what it really was, that was the best match of the night. Hands down. And then you got this interesting thought. Why are they doing this here? Do you actually believe this is really going to help Braun Strowman in the coming match at No Mercy? Part of it says yes, but then I just feel like that type of thing should have been left for a pay-per-view. And you could have done something else with Braun Strowman other than this, even though it was well done. When the match was over, the Big Show jobbed again by letting his ass get thrown outside the ring. Nice throw. I think that's what I may use as a title. He made that fall once the ring fell apart look authentic. Then he was grabbing at his left hip. Like myself, I got a messed up hip. He's grabbing at his hip. That was well done. And it made Braun Strowman look more credible. But I do state this again. I'm kind of torn at it that they went this far with Braun Strowman, that this should have been it could have been a main event at a pay-per-view. And of course, you got to make him look dominant for the Beast. But it just felt like it's a loss. That's how it felt to me. They lost an opportunity to do something later. And they did it now to try and promote a minor pay-per-view that could have been built up at Survivor Series. Let's be honest. You could have done Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series, just like John Cena and Roman Reigns could be done the Survivor Series as well. That's how it feels like it should have been. Those two matches should have been left for the next couple of months, but they don't want to do it. They want to rush. But it's just my point of view. And I hope you enjoyed this Raw review. Please give me a comment below. It was an okay show, but I don't think it's that memorable, even though you want to see the throw. If you're gonna care about anything, look for the Miz and Jeff Hardy match, and look for the last match of the night. The throw is the best thing. I'm just saying. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.